A bombshell, new report in the Daily Mail today, claiming two of Hunter Biden's Chinese business partners met with Joe Biden inside the White House while he was vice president. It is the 15th meeting we've learned about from the guy who claims he doesn't know anything about anything. What was Joe thinking? Bringing these shady Chinese oil tycoons into the West Wing? We don't know. But again, this is proof the president's compromised. China has Joe exactly where they want him. Today, the Chinese openly taunted the White House, firing ballistic missiles over Taiwan and sending warships to circle the island. They also slapped sanctions on Nancy and suspended all talks with Washington. China says, quote, "We cannot allow the U.S. to take itself as world policeman and treat other countries like George Floyd, who can bully and strangle at will." Wow. China just played Joe Biden's race card on him. In other words, they said, go to hell. Nancy Pelosi's response?
They may try to keep Taiwan from visiting or participating in other places, but they will not isolate Taiwan by preventing us to travel there. We will not allow them to isolate Taiwan.
But here's the thing. The Chinese aren't really afraid of Nancy Pelosi. I mean, who can talk some sense into China? I mean, and they know Joe Biden won't touch them. They own Joe. And besides, no one should bother Joe right now. He's just tested positive for COVID for the 7th millionth day in a row. Plus, Joe's telling the Chinese, hey, I'm not even the president.
Most families are focused on just putting 3 meals on the table, taking care of their kids and paying their bills. Helping you do that is my job. That's a president's job as well.
What about Tony Blinken? Where's he? Blinken watched Kabul fall from the Hamptons. Maybe check there. Kamala? Well, she's got a lot on her plate. Is there anybody left at the White House who can talk China off the ledge?
There's no reason for Beijing to have escalated the way that they have. There is no reason. The policy has not changed. We are still in line with the one China policy.
In other words, it's all good, Chi. We're all good. And sorry about Nancy. Surely you understand. She's just trying to protect her investments. Kevin McCarthy is the House Minority Leader who joins me now. It's not like Ukraine where the national security state wants to drag the Russians into a proxy war and then bleed them dry. I mean, if Chinese encircle Taiwan, we don't have any chips. I mean, there's no way to get those chips out of that island. You're going to see the Dow just crash. What's the plan here?
Well, you watch. This is the Biden administration, the Democrats' fault. Biden has shown weakness from the very beginning from Afghanistan. Watch how he allowed China to speak to America, first on our soil in Alaska. And then what did he do when Nancy Pelosi was going to Taiwan? He showed weakness again, said, well, the military doesn't want her to go. Well, it's Nancy. Why didn't he stand up for America and say China is not going to dictate when and who goes to Taiwan? China would have had a different opinion about what they said and done. But the other point about Nancy Pelosi, I support Americans going to Taiwan. But if you're Speaker of the House, wouldn't it have been stronger if you took a bipartisan group? Every other congressional delegation that travels overseas has to be bipartisan. It's only the Speaker. When she goes to Ukraine, she makes it partisan, Democrats only. When she goes to Taiwan, she made it only Democrats. Wouldn't it have been a stronger voice to China as well if you had Republicans and Democrats together?
Yeah, it was sloppy. She wasn't on the same page with Joe. She wasn't on the same page with you guys. Maybe she thought you'd be like looking over her shoulder while she was looking into investment opportunities. You never really know, Congressman. Let me ask you about this Chinese delegation, these oil guys that were just waltzing in with the Hunter's people into the West Wing while Joe Biden was vice president. Doesn't it clue you in to think that there's something guilty going on? Because he won't even admit he knows about his son's business deals. He says he's never met anybody his son does business with. Oh, you know what? Actually, the Chinese are in the West Wing with him. Is he compromised?
How could he? Well, how can he continue to say he's never talked to his son about business? He brought his son an Air Force Two when he went to China, and Hunter Biden discussed business and got business in China. We see him pictures on the golf course. We now hear of 15 different meetings. Why is he not being asked the questions, what did he know and when did he know it? This is a big problem. And the administration, but more importantly, the press corps has got to ask him these questions.
Well, they never will, because once you start digging, the whole presidency collapses. And that's a fact. All right, soon to be Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.